Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your NBA playoff preview and predictions for a Friday, June 11th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your weekend. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast brought to you by bballpicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join, and you want to follow the top pickers today at bballpicks.com. In fact, the top scorer right now is still Chris Kalaja here at 817, Proline Mind Anthony at 796, and Dansko Laura D, who's also having a good run at bullpenpicks.com. She's at 791, and folks, you can get their plays along with my selections each and every day right here at bballpicks.com. All right, let's get to game number 3 between the Hawks and the Sixers. Now, if you recall, in game number 1, Atlanta flew out of the gate in that first half and had a big lead and then won by 4 at the end. And then Philadelphia responded by a 16-point win in game number 2. Now, game number 3 tonight is in Atlanta. In fact, now these teams has been off with 2 days here. So both teams playing on 2 days rest. The bookmakers have made the Sixers a 1-point favorite. The over-under set at 224. ATS forecast, the computer pick. Gonna lean by the team that lost by 4 in game number 1 to win by 4 in game number 3. 119.1 for Philadelphia, 114.8 for the Atlanta Hawks. So we do like the Sixers winning by 4. The over/under is at 234. And that's a high total when you look at the total right here, 224. In fact, I used my ATS calculator this morning. I love using this when the numbers are really tight. And you know what? It's a good thing I used this last night because it really cleared the way and then, like they say, clear the smoke out of the all the fog. And I saw more precisely the number that I want to see yesterday in that game in Utah and LA Clippers. And hopefully you guys were on the money line there. And look at that. The away team tonight by 2.94. But the over-under at 222.33. So you can see the numbers here, 224. And it's playoff time, right? We saw it last night in the game between Brooklyn and the Milwaukee Bucks. You saw that 234 was the total, and if both teams finished in double digits, right? So you really got to pick your spots in the NBA when you're betting the basketball in the playoffs. And playoff sports is a different animal, totally different than the regular season. Regular season, you can use more analytics, but in the playoffs, it's about momentum. It's about, look at Colorado in NHL hockey, right? They had a great year. They had a good first couple of games of the series. And then when you get the flat tire, that's it. You can't find the spare, right? So that's what's happening here in playoff sports. But back to basketball, as I just went around the globe there in all the sports. Philadelphia, 7-3 in their last 10 games, 6-4 against the number, 7-3 to the over, where the Atlanta Hawks, 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the number. But look at that, 1-8-1 to the under. So, and that's where I think I'm leaning here tonight. I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to fly out of the gate here tonight at home. There'll be a home crowd. They'll be buzzing. And we'll see what happens. I think betting the side here is pretty dangerous in my opinion. Well, not dangerous, but I don't see the advantage if you do like the Philadelphia 76ers. And again, and you always go back to perception versus reality, right? The perception is Philly won by 16 points in game number 2. So what's the reality going to be in game number 3? My line on this game, I had the Atlanta Hawks at minus 2.57, but I also had the Sixers at minus 6.01. That's my reality right there. But again, I think the under is where you want to lean here tonight. I do have the Sixers winning by 56.7% chance of winning here on the Raymond Report on the law of average theory. And I do have the higher low going to the Sixers of covering the spread, the COC, cover the point spread here, and 39% compared to 38% for the Atlanta Hawks. And the Kogo, the chance of this game going over the total is at 51%. Now, looking at the Atlanta Hawks when they're facing a team like the Sixers who are 60% or higher in the standings, 1-7 to the under. So you can see a lot of indicators starting to point towards the under, and that's what I look for when I handicap sports. But Philly does not have a good record in Atlanta. In fact, in their last 10 trips, they're 3-7 straight up, but look at this, 1-9 against the number. And when the Phillies, or actually any NBA team this season on 2 days rest, and they're a pick'em to -3 road favorite, 6-12-1 to the under. And for the Atlanta Hawks, I do have some numbers pointing towards the Hawks here. Look at this, the Atlanta Hawks. If you do like the side, look at this on the Atlanta Hawks. When they're coming off a 16-point loss since 1996, they're 18-4 against the number. But I do think the under is where I want to lean in this one. And the last 90 days at home for Atlanta, 7-13-1. And when I look at some of the numbers for the Philadelphia 76ers, look at this right here. When the Sixers are on the road this season, they're coming off a game that went under. 8-2 to the under in the next game, 80%. So I'm going to lean under the total here tonight between the Hawks and the Sixers. And hopefully that is a winning proposition for you and a winning bet. And hopefully you guys do well at the window wherever you're going to bet. All right, so have yourself a great Friday night. Watch some good basketball and keep an eye on the baseball because there should be some good games in the bigs there today too. All right, have yourself a good one. As always, shop for value. Play those percentages. I'll see you back here shortly with another Raymond Report. Cheers.